plumber. Number two, the next patient said, what chiropractic does is it will help me enjoy my pregnancy because right now in my first or second trimester, I am miserable. And the only thing I want is to get this thing out of me. All my friends tell me how great pregnancy is and how much they're enjoying it. She says, this absolutely, she used the word effing sucks. And that's what chiropractic will do for me. Number three, it's crazy. Number three, the very next patient. What does chiropractic? She overheard me asking, "What does chiropractic do for you?" Or "What does chiropractic do?" Or "What do chiropractors do?" She said, "It's going to prevent me from having the hunchback if I wear my um, sleeveless dress at my wedding." That's what chiropractic does for her. Number four, I asked him, what do chiropractors do? What chiropractic do for me is that it's going to prevent my grandkids from calling me old, because the other day or the last month or whatever, I was playing tag with my 6-year-old and 9-year-old grandkids, and I slipped and I couldn't keep up. Joke, yeah, I can't make this shit up, man. And the last one that I recorded, I mean, I went all day with it. It was so much fun. The last one I recorded is I want to be able to walk the entire Disney park. That's their goal this year. They're going for 2 weeks, big Disney family. They've never done it before. And this guy wants to walk the entire Disney park, see every nook and cranny for what they think is their final Disney trip, because their kids are in high school and leaving for college, and they don't know if they're going to be able to do that. These are what my patients told me. Now, you could do your own experiment, and you shouldn't be shy about doing this, because man, your practice is a social experiment every single day. If you're not learning from the people that you're caring for, on top of serving them toward optimal health and wellness through the chiropractic paradigm and the obliteration of the subluxation complex, if you're not actually surveying them and talking to them, asking them their perspective, you are losing out on some incredible valuable information that should serve you in the future. Is exactly what we're going to be talking about right now. If you guys are in the room with me, if you just jumped in, we're just talking about, I asked a group of chiropractors what chiropractic does, and or what does a chiropractor do. I also asked my patients, what does a chiropractor do? Okay. All right. So if you did not hear the disparity between what chiropractors say they do and what patients say they do, it's about time you open your ears, because this is very clear. When we ask chiropractors what they do, the first question that you all should be asking me, and I was waiting for this to come up, was, who's asking? That's the number one question you should be asking. If anyone else asks you a question, the first thing either you're asking or you're thinking is, who's asking, right? For example, if someone says, hey, this person wants to know your name, what's the first question you have? Who's asking? Who wants to know my name? Oh, this person wants your phone number and your email address and your home address. First question is, who's asking? Why do you do that? Because you want to know the intent behind the person asking the question. You also want to know what's the perspective of the person asking that question, because your answers will be widely different depending on who asks the question. This is not foreign information here. I mean, your kid asks you, hey, why is the sky blue? Right? As opposed to someone else asking you, why is the sky blue? It's going to determine how you respond to that person. So number one, when I asked, what do chiropractors do to chiropractors, as a business professional in the business of serving your patients and being responsible for a marketplace, your response should be, who's asking? Wasn't asked. Instead, they assumed it was just me asking, which is a safe assumption. I won't really kill them for that. But now the responses are, I'm going to tell you what chiropractors do from the perspective of me. Does this sound familiar? How many of you during your day-to-day talk about what you do from the perspective of you or yourself, instead of thinking, what's the perspective of my market, my patient, my community, the people I'm serving? What do they want to hear? Or what is their perspective on why they want chiropractic, what chiropractors do? When classically, chiropractors will say things like uh, corrects and repairs, adjusts and increase the integrity of the nervous system. Like these are all chirocentric terms, and that we use, that we should be using interdepartmentally. Instead, this is the same message we bring to our patients when your patients could give two shits about the integrity of the nervous system. Just like most dental patients, when they have a problem, the last thing they want is the optimization of the oral ecosystem. Like they don't care. And oftentimes, common denominator is, why does the average chiropractor, and it doesn't matter, you could be straight, mixed, subluxation based, against the subby word, like it doesn't matter, because the whole industry has this problem, is we ignore the perspective. What does my community, what does my patient want, and how can I phrase what I do in the perspective of their want and need and desire? And this list, I tell you, I was like, I literally, when they were talking, I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like even the one like, I want to stick it to Julie because Julie's a bitch. I mean, would you ever think that that's something that someone wants? I'm just telling you, they do. So why am I going over this? Okay, I'm not going to beat a dead horses here. Is that if you're operating on what chiropractic is or is not from the perspective of chiropractors, that's probably one of the fundamental reasons why you are not at the practice level that you should be at. I'm just going to say it. If you're not constantly thinking about what is the perspective of my patient, what do they want? What do they need? What do they desire? And then formulate a way to see if what I do gives them what they want. Sales. If you're not thinking along those lines more often than not, I'm just telling you, there comes a point where you're struggling for new patients because less than 50% of them are saying yes. Because what are they buying? They're buying the increased capacity of the nervous system for optimal health and function and wellness. Why this guy had 4 rear enders because he can't lift his foot off the gas to hit the brake. Like, why would they want anything? Why do they want lollipops and unicorn when they're living in hell? That's where your patients are. So you got to figure that out. Now, if you can't figure that out, it's okay. At least you're asking the question, right? You're asking the question. What do they want? Like I'm patients right over there. What do you want? I mean, I'm thinking that, but I also have to ask questions in a way that helps them unload what they truly want, because most people just don't give it to you because you ask, right? It has to kind of get drawn out. It's a process. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. And that's where we need to be operating. Oh, some of you are listening to this like, wow, this is so great. This is earth shattering. This is just blowing my mind. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you. This is not new. People and services and products are being sold this way for over probably a century. Okay. And somehow chiropractic has lagged behind, and we just haven't caught up yet. Everything is sold this way. That's sold properly. That's sold well. Whether it's good service or product or bad service product, everybody. And chiropractic, it's just like we refuse to admit that that's how to do this. Okay, that's why what we do works so good. Excuse my grammar issue. Sorry, Jen. Jen, aren't we all so self-centered? Yes, what we call chiro-centered. It's crazy. If you want to fast track this, I mean, okay. So fundamentally, what we're teaching our docs is based off of this premise, this construct. And that's why this works. Because you all have to learn how to actually execute, learning about what a patient's deep want, need, or desire is, and then formulating a way or solution. And some of the right off the bat, Steve Knighton, shout out to you. He said solves problems when I ask what do chiropractors do, but he's been trained by us, so obviously he has the right answer. And so if they see you as a solution to their problem, need, want, or desire, they're buying. They're with you. Like, there's no question. It's just a matter of how much, how long. That's up to you. But initially, they're good. How do you do that? Well, you guys can figure it out on your own if you want, because I had to. Back in the day, there was no such thing as sales training for chiropractors back in 2002. That's why we had to do this. So if you want to fast track this process of getting your patients to say yes because you are positioned as a solution to their problem, this is where we need to be. Jen, if you're still on, please put a link, book a call. And on this call, it's not just about what we do. Remember, we practice what we preach. We're going to ask you questions. We want to know what you truly want, and if it aligns with what we have to offer, and it's conducive and it's going to help, then we're all over it. But if it's not, at least we had a conversation. It was great meeting you. And maybe there's something else that we could sorry, I'm sorry. So there is maybe something else we can help you with. Like, truly, if you don't have a sales problem, maybe you have a staffing issue. Maybe you have a legitimate marketing problem. Maybe you have scalability issues. Whatever. Like, we have resources and we can direct you to those people and places that we love. But if you feel like you have a sales problem because too many people are saying no to you, you're desperate for new patients because only half of them or less are starting with you. Make sense? You're spending all this time, energy, and money on, better websites and all these lead generation, and you're just, how long can you do that? I'm just telling you, like, the music stops eventually. You're just gonna be like, fuck it, I can't do this anymore. Then we are the people for you. Because if you have a problem in your practice, and I know a lot of you do. I know a lot of in Cairo land, it's all about lollipops and unicorns, and everything is so happy. Like, that's bullshit. Like, no. Okay, I wish that for you, but not everyone is in that position. I know that Closer Cairo was birthed on a problem. Like, it was a big problem. That's how we, got invented, because it was a legitimate, deep problem that we needed to find a solution for. Make sense? So if you are one of the people who have a problem, okay, that's spinning your wheels, plateauing, maybe even close to going out of business because you can't generate revenue, and you're still seeing a good amount of new patients, they're still all saying no, or they're saying yes, they're sticking around for 2 visits and they're gone, and your initial recommendations are 12. Does that make sense? And you're still collecting $22 a visit with a box on the wall. Okay, fine. If that's your thing, great. And you're happy, great. I don't think most of you are. So I'm just gonna make it the assumption. Then we need to talk, is what we're talking about. Okay. So click the link. Love to get on a call with you guys. Masterclass September is pretty much almost there. The next one after that is November. And then there's the year. So if you guys are sick and tired of, just, I don't know, twiddling your thumbs, and so I know many of you are watching this, be like, yeah, I've seen this guy before. I know. Why are you still here and not taking action is my question. All right. With that all said and done, I love and appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. And we'll talk to you next week. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.